A civilization numb to its own neglect mistakes isolation for strength, until loneliness crystallizes into belief and demands to be heard. I am talking about Martin Scorsese's absolute masterpiece, Taxi Driver, a film that pierces the veneer of urban life to reveal the unseen fractures of society. Through the eyes of Travis Bickle, we confront the isolation, neglect, and moral ambiguities that simmer beneath the surface of a bustling metropolis. The city becomes more than a setting. It is a mirror of human despair, a crucible where alienation hardens into violence, and societal indifference is laid bare. Every street, every flicker of neon, every unspoken encounter reflects the consequences of a civilization that overlooks its own fragility. So this is what Taxi Driver really means to society.
You talking to me? Then who the hell else are you talking to? Talking to me?
The urban psyche as a mirror of inner collapse. New York's subjective contours in Taxi Driver. New York City in Taxi Driver is not a mere backdrop. It is a living, breathing, psychological landscape. The streets do not just host life, they sweat it. Neon glows like wounds in the night. Rain falls in torrents, yet it cleans nothing, as if the city itself resists absolution. Viewed through Travis Bickle's eyes, the metropolis is a hostile organism. Lights glare like accusations. Sidewalks pulse with silent menace, and the air tastes of decay. Yet the city is not intrinsically evil. It is the alienation of its inhabitant that animates its monstrous face. As Kierkegaard once noted, anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. The city becomes a stage for Travis's existential vertigo. Urbanity promises opportunity, but it also manufactures anonymity. Among millions, Travis drifts like a ghost, unseen and untouched. His taxi, a mechanical womb in a prison, moves ceaselessly through the veins of the city, yet goes nowhere. This is the architecture of modern existence: ceaseless motion, endless isolation.
Loneliness has followed me my whole life.
Travis Bickle, the tragic silence of a man, unarmed by society. Travis is neither heroic nor villainous. He is painfully human in his incompleteness. Charisma eludes him. Intellect does not rescue him. Self-awareness is a language he never learned. And it is precisely in this void that he becomes emblematic. He experiences desire, disgust, longing, and fury, but lacks the lexicon to express them. In the privacy of his diary, he speaks into a void. He embodies a masculinity constricted by societal norms. Strength is silence, and vulnerability is forbidden. The philosopher Herbert Marcuse wrote that society produces individuals who are one-dimensional, defined by function rather than emotion. Travis is one such product. His fantasies of purging the city are not political manifestos. They are existential imperatives. He seeks clarity, moral order, and a place of significance. Society, however, offers only one recourse: sanctioned violence. Loneliness as a social malady, neglect, invisibility, and the mechanisms of disregard. Travis does not collapse in a single moment. His decay is cumulative, the result of systemic neglect. No one intervenes, no one probes. His oddities are tolerated, but never addressed. As Emile Durkheim observed in Suicide, alienation is a social phenomenon. Society does not respond to human suffering. It responds to disruption. Travis remains invisible in his isolation. Only when he becomes a threat does society acknowledge him, celebrating his violence as if it were an antidote rather than a symptom. This is not an anomaly. It is a pattern of social failure. The unemployment, the housing instability, the disconnection from civic life, all contribute to the existential pressures that Travis embodies.
I really want to... I got some bad ideas in my head.
The curated hypocrisy of violence, redemption, spectacle, and moral calculus. When Travis's assassination attempt fails, he is labeled insane. When he murders pimps and criminals, he is lauded as a hero. The acts are violently equivalent. What differs is societal convenience. Taxi Driver unmasks the moral hypocrisies embedded within civic narratives. violence is tolerated, even celebrated, when it reinforces a comforting illusion of order. Redemption is not earned, it is granted by circumstance. Travis's catharsis is manufactured. The philosopher Nietzsche wrote, "Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster." Yet the audience forgives his transformation because it aligns with socially sanctioned outcomes, ignoring the human suffering that precipitated it.
Here is someone who stood up. Here is
The illusion of resolution, cyclical alienation, and persistent urban malaise. The film's conclusion feels superficially redemptive. Travis survives, receives praise, and returns to his nocturnal routes. But look closely, nothing has fundamentally changed. The city continues to burn with corruption. Loneliness persists. Travis's internal disquiet remains. The film refuses the lie of catharsis. Scorsese suggests that society prefers comforting myths over confronting uncomfortable truths. Mythology is easier than reform. The philosophical warning of Taxi Driver, alienation, neglect, and the human cost. Taxi Driver is more than a character study. It is a cautionary fable. It exposes the societal conditions that produce alienation, the invisibility of suffering, and the systemic neglect of mental health. Travis Bickle is not an anomaly. He is a byproduct of a city and a society that forgets its citizens until they disrupt the narrative. In the words of Camus, "In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer." Travis's winter has no summer, only a relentless urban cold that hardens into violence. The true horror of Taxi Driver is not a man's breakdown. It is that society's indifference ensures there will always be another Travis,